Hello, my name is Jessica Millar and I'm a people advisor at Jemmy Joe and my CIPD number is 919584474. Today I'll be interviewing Megan Hutchinson for the people assistant role. Thank you for attending your online interview today. Please note before we do start, the interview is being recorded through Teams. Are you able just to confirm that you are happy with this?
Yep, that's not a problem, thank you.
Perfect. How are you feeling today?
Yes, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Did you manage to connect to the meeting okay without any problems?
Yes, everything was fine, thank you. And I didn't experience any connectivity issues or anything.
Perfect. Before we start then, are you able just to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Megan, but my friends and family like to call me Meg. I enjoy reading, taking my dogs on long walks, attending the gym, and just spending time with family and friends, really.
That sounds lovely. Are you reading anything at the moment?
So I'm currently reading a book by Frida McFadden called The Housemaid. I've only got a couple of chapters left, which is good because I'm actually going to see it in the cinemas next week.
Oh, amazing. I've actually read the book myself and been to the cinemas when it was first released. It is a really good choice.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to go next week.
So today, Megan, today's interview will last around 20 minutes. I will ask you a series of questions about your experience and skills. I'll also be taking some notes during the interview. Also, at the end of the interview, there will be an opportunity for you to ask any questions. Does that sound okay?
Yep, that sounds great. Thank you.
Perfect. Just to let you know as well, I may ask you a few follow-up questions, but this is just to explore your examples in more detail. Please feel free to take your time when you're answering the questions. And before we do begin, I just want to let you know that all information shared today will be treated confidentially and only used for recruitment purposes. Does all that sound okay before we start?
Yep, sounds great. Thanks.
Perfect. Can you start off then just by telling me a little bit about your current role?
Yeah, of course. So currently I work as an administration assistant at Wilton Limited. I support with general day-to-day administration tasks as well as HR-related tasks. I enjoy arranging interviews, preparing offer letters and contracts, and taking meeting minutes, including disciplinary meetings. I really enjoy being involved and gaining exposure to the people management tasks, and now want to move into a dedicated people assistance role where I can develop even further.
And how long have you worked at Wilton Limited for?
I've worked at Wilton now for around 2 years.
And what is it you enjoy most about your current role?
I feel as though I enjoy being involved with people, and I also enjoy the recruitment side of things. I enjoy the sense of organisation and structure that comes with HR administration, just such as ensuring processes are run smoothly and supporting both managers and employees. It's rewarding when I know that I've helped create a positive experience for someone, especially new starters joining the organisation.
Are you able to tell me a little bit about what you understand about the people assistant role here at Jemmy Joe?
Yes, so from my understanding, the role supports the people team with administrative processes across the employee life cycle, such as recruitment, maintaining employee records and supporting managers, and just general HR queries. Given Jeremy Joe's large workforce and different working arrangements, I imagine organisation and communication are especially important within this role.
Can I ask you a little bit about what interested you to apply for the role at Jemmy Joe?
Yeah, of course. So I applied for the role at Jeremy Joe because I'm really interested in developing my career within HR. And I feel as though this position would allow me to build on that experience I've already gained in my current role. I was particularly attracted to Jeremy Joe because of your focus on employee development and structured people processes. I'm now looking for an opportunity where I continue learning, gain more hands on HR experience, and just contribute to an overall supportive people team.
And what key skills do you think, from your current role, do you think are most relevant to the people assistant role here at Jemmy Joe?
I would say my organisation and communication skills are probably the most relevant. I regularly manage interviews and scheduling documentation. This requires a lot of attention to detail and prioritising tasks. I've also developed communication skills with candidates and internal stakeholders. So I've developed professional skills through this. I've also gained experience with confidentiality through HR tasks, which I understand is particularly important within a people role.
Are you able then to tell me a little bit about what motivated you to move into HR?
Yeah, of course. So I had the opportunity to get involved in HR related tasks like recruitment coordination and onboarding. I've really enjoyed the balance of working with people whilst also contributing to organisational goals. It's made me realise how impactful HR can be in shaping employee experience and company culture. This has motivated me to pursue it as a career, and hence why I've also started to study for my CIPD qualification.
Oh, it's great to hear that you're doing your CIPD qualification. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it so far. It's helped me gain a better understanding of HR practices more in depth, and also link this to theory to what I have experienced in my current role. I particularly enjoy learning about the employment law and best practice in people management, because it's helped me understand the reasons behind HR processes. It's also increased my confidence and confirmed that I want to continue developing my career within HR.
Well, that sounds great. What level are you doing at the moment?
Currently, I'm studying towards level 3.
And how long have you got left?
I will have completed the course and hopefully gained my qualification by the end of June.
Oh, fingers crossed. Hopefully, all goes well for you then. You've mentioned a little bit about taking notes in disciplinary meetings. Can you let me know how you ensure professionalism when supporting sensitive employee situations?
Yes, so when taking notes during disciplinary meetings, I focus on recording facts and key points rather than opinions or personal interpretations. I always make sure that my notes are clear, objective, and accurate. I remain professional and neutral by listening carefully to all parties and avoid any assumptions or judgment. I also ensure confidentiality by storing notes securely and not sharing them and only sharing them with the authorised individuals. I understand that maintaining neutrality is important to ensure fairness and trust within HR processes.
Are you able then to tell me about a time when you've had to manage multiple administrative tasks or meet deadlines?
Yes, so within my current role, I manage several responsibilities at once, which include sending contracts, arranging interviews, responding to emails, and general office administration. For example, one time I was recruiting for multiple roles at the same time. I created a checklist and scheduled reminders to ensure the interviews were arranged promptly and that documents were sent in time. As a result of me doing this, the recruitment ran smoothly and my manager was happy with the overall process.
As you may know, Jemmy Joe operates across multiple locations. Some staff are office based and others work from home. Can you let me know how you would ensure good communication and organisation when supporting people across different teams and the different working arrangements?
I would focus on clear communication and strong organisation, to ensure that everyone has the same information regardless of where they work. For example, I would use shared calendars, structured email communication, and online collaboration tools to keep stakeholders updated. Um, I would confirm expectations and timelines early, especially when organising interviews or meetings, and provide regular updates to managers and employees. It's important to adapt communication methods depending on the individual. So things such as using Teams meetings for remote staff or follow-up summaries to ensure clarity. This would help maintain consistency across teams and avoid any misunderstandings.
You've mentioned a little bit then about how you've managed tasks and deadlines. Is there anything that you would have done differently?
I think looking back, I would have maybe communicated timelines even earlier with the hiring managers, just so that expectations were clear from the very start. Although the process ran smoothly, I learned that proactive communication could prevent last minute pressures and just make the process even more efficient.
So it's great to hear that the process ran smoothly. Are you able to give me an example then of how you proactively communicated to ensure that the process did run smoothly?
So, to proactively communicate, I made sure to send regular updates to hiring managers about interview progress and candidate availability. I also confirmed timelines at the beginning of the process so everyone understood key deadlines. If there were any delays or changes, I communicated these early to avoid last minute issues. This just helps keep everyone aligned and reduces any confusion.
Are you able then to describe a time where you've ever had to handle sensitive or confidential information?
So I regularly prepare employment contracts and take notes during disciplinary meetings. This obviously involves high confidential employee information. So I ensure that documents are stored securely and only shared with authorised people. And I do not discuss sensitive issues with colleagues who are not involved. This just helps build trust and protects employees' privacy.
Perfect. Are you able then just to tell me a little bit about why confidentiality is important to you?
So I believe confidentiality is important to me because employees need to feel as though that they can trust their HR with sensitive information. Handling information responsibly shows professionalism and respect for individuals. I understand that maintaining confidentiality protects both the employee and the organisation and helps maintain credibility in the HR function.
That's great to hear why you think it's important. Are you able then just to expand on why you think confidentiality is important within a HR role?
So confidentiality is essential because HR deals with such sensitive personal information, so things such as contracts, disciplinary matters, and employee data. Therefore, if confidentiality is not maintained, it could damage the trust between the employee and the organisation, and it could also lead to legal or data protection issues. Maintaining confidentiality helps create a professional and safe environment where employees feel as though that they're respected.
Perfect. Thank you, Megan. So you may be aware that the role will involve maintaining employee records on HR systems. Are you able to tell me a little bit about your experience using systems or databases or how you ensure accuracy when inputting the data?
Yes, of course. So within my current role, I've not used a dedicated HR system as of yet, but I extensively use Word, Excel, and shared company databases to manage employee information and documentation. For example, I maintain recruitment tracking spreadsheets and ensure contracts and documents are stored correctly in shared folders. To ensure accuracy, I always double check information before saving or sending documents and try to use templates where possible just to reduce any errors. I also make sure I follow naming conventions just so that information is easy to find. Although I haven't used a HRIS system yet, I am confident in learning new systems quickly and understand the importance of maintaining accurate employee records.
Are you then able to give me an example of when you've supported recruitment or organised meetings?
So I support recruitment by arranging interviews, sending confirmation emails, and preparing offer letters once the candidate has been selected. I liaise with both candidates and the owner to ensure that schedules match. This has helped improve communication and ensure candidates have a great experience.
And what part of the recruitment process would you say you found the most difficult?
I sometimes found coordinating availability with hiring managers challenging, especially when diaries were busy or changed at short notice. So, in order to manage this, I stayed organised using calendar tools and ensured that I kept clear communication with candidates and the managers just to minimise any further delays.
You've mentioned a little bit about how you've used calendar tools. Are you able to expand on this a little bit and tell me how you use these to benefit the process?
So I use shared calendar systems to check availability quickly and avoid any doubled bookings. I would send calendar invites with clear details such as location, interview format, and participants, just so that everyone had the same information. I also added reminders and buffer times between the interviews just to ensure that the processes ran smoothly and it just reduces the risk of any delays or confusion.
Perfect. How did you ensure then that the candidate had a positive experience?
So I made sure communication was clear and timely, sending confirmation emails and reminders and any instructions, advice. I also tried to be approachable just so that candidates felt comfortable asking me any queries or questions that they may have. And this helps build a positive first impression of the organisation.
Are you able to tell me about a time you've ever responded to queries from different people or different hiring managers?
So I answer emails and phone calls from clients and staff. For example, employees would email in or ring up and ask questions regarding their contracts or working hours. I always ensure that I listen carefully and check the information before responding, and it just makes sure that my response is clear and accurate.
Are you then able to just go a little bit further into that and give me an example?
Yeah, of course. So, an employee contacted me regarding some confusion around their working hours stated within their contract. I reviewed the documentation carefully, then confirmed the correct information with the HR team, and then I could then respond clearly to the employee. This ensured that they received accurate information and felt as though that they were supported throughout their query.
Would you say there's ever been a time where you've had to deal with a difficult query, and how did you handle it?
Yeah, so once a candidate was unhappy because their interview had to be rescheduled at short notice, I listened to their concern and apologised for any of the inconvenience that this may have caused. I then worked with the hiring manager to find an alternative time quickly, ensuring that I kept calm and communicated clearly to the employee, helped resolve the situation positively.
As you may know, accuracy is important for this role. Are you able to describe a time when accuracy was important to you in your work?
Yeah, of course. So when preparing offer letters and contracts, accuracy is essential because mistakes could be made, and if this got sent out, it could cause confusion for the employee. So I always double check details and use templates to reduce any errors.
Perfect. As you've mentioned, and as we know, accuracy is important. Are you able to let me know what risks you think could happen if accuracy isn't maintained in HR documentation?
Yeah, of course. So if HR documents are inaccurate, it could lead to a misunderstanding about pay, contractual or employee rights. It could also cause legal risks for the organisation and reduce employee trust. So therefore, checking details carefully is especially important within a HR role.
And would you say there's ever a time that you've spotted an error before it may have caused an issue?
Yeah, so once a colleague of mine was drafting up a contract, I was then checking it and I noticed that the incorrect salary had been written. I made my colleague aware of this and showed them the correct way of checking salary details. If this would have gone out to the employee, it could have caused them upset and may have caused them some distress as well.
And would you say that experience, did it teach you anything?
I would say the experience taught me the importance of attention to detail and also taking responsibility for checking information, even if someone else has prepared it. It's also showed me the value of speaking up professionally when I noticed something that could have caused an issue. Since then, I've become more confident in double checking documents just to ensure that accuracy is maintained.
And what would you say then interests you the most about working in the people assistant role here at Jemmy Joe?
I would say I'm most interested in the opportunity to support employees and make a positive impact on their day-to-day experience. I enjoy combining organisation with people-focused work, whether that's helping with HR processes or responding to employee needs. I'm also keen to grow my skills in HR and learn more about how to support and develop people within an organisation. Hence why I've also decided to pursue my CIPD qualification as well.
So if you was to be successful, are there any skills that you'd like to build on?
I feel as though I'd like to develop more knowledge of HR policies and employment law, as well as gaining experience with HR system and data reporting. I would also like to continue improving my stakeholder communication skills.
And would you say you have any future aspirations to develop your career any further?
I think in the future, I would like to progress maybe into a HR advisor role once I've gained more experience and completed my CIPD qualification. However, I am keen to build a strong foundation through a people assistant position first.
Perfect. Thank you, Megan, for your responses today. That does bring us to an end of the interview. Do you have any questions for us all?
Yes, I do have a couple of questions, if that's okay. Could I just ask what training or development opportunities are available within the people team?
Yeah, of course. So we support ongoing development and encourage continuous learning. All new starters receive onboarding and system training. We also have KPIs in place and we have monthly check-ins with team leaders. So they'll check in and you can discuss your progression and raise any concerns that you may have.
Perfect. That's great to hear. Thank you. Could I also ask what types of HRIS systems it is that you use?
Yeah, of course. So we use a combination. We use cloud-based HRIS for employee records and for supporting payroll. Along that, we have a tracking system for the recruitment.
Thank you for that. Could you also just tell me how you measure success within this role?
Yeah, so success in the role is measured through a combination of accuracy, efficiency, and experience we provide to employees. I'd say in the early stages, it's about getting up to speed with our processes and systems and handling tasks like onboarding and employee data. In the longer term, we would look at things like how smoothly onboarding runs, how quickly and accurate queries are resolved, and how well you've supported the wider team. We also do value proactiveness, improvement, spotting ways to make processes more efficient or improve the employee experience.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you for answering those. Just my final query. Could I just ask when I expect to hear back from you regarding the outcome of the role?
Yeah, so we typically aim to let candidates aware within 5 working days. Can I just ask, would you prefer to be phone call or email to let you know the outcome?
If you could please contact me on my mobile, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'll make a note on your file. Thank you for your questions today, Megan. That does bring us to the end of the interview then. Like I say, we'll contact you within the next 5 working days to let you know. And I just want to say thank you again for attending your interview today and your interest in the people assistant role at Jemmy Joe.
No, thank you for taking the time to interview me as well today, and I look forward to hearing back from you in the future.
Perfect. Thank you again, Megan. It was lovely to meet you. If you do have any more questions, feel free just to contact me, and have a lovely rest of your day.
Perfect. That's great. And you too.
Okay, see you later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.